Number 1. The geographic stronghold that commands global attention. Iran has long been regarded as one of the countries with the most formidable natural defensive geography in the world. This is one of the main reasons why any plan to advance deep into its territory has always been considered an exceptionally complex challenge. To the west, Iran is protected by the vast Zagros mountain range, while the north is shielded by the Alborz Mountains, where many peaks rise above 4,000 meters. Together, these massive mountain systems form a natural defensive barrier surrounding much of the country and making many areas difficult to access. Mountain routes are often narrow and limited, while the rugged terrain significantly reduces mobility and large-scale visibility. As a result, Iran enjoys a natural defensive advantage that few nations possess. However, Iran's geostrategic importance extends far beyond its mountains. The country also occupies a critical position along the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important oil transportation corridors. Roughly 20% of global oil demand passes through this narrow waterway, which stretches only a few dozen kilometers across at its narrowest points. Because of this, any disruption in the Strait of Hormuz has the potential to affect international energy markets on a broad scale. This is widely considered one of the key reasons why developments involving Iran continue to attract close attention from around the world. Number 2. Persian heritage and a unique religious role. Many people assume that Iran is part of the Arab world, but the reality is quite different. The majority of Iranians are ethnically Persian and speak Persian as their primary language. They possess a distinct culture, history, and national identity that have been shaped over thousands of years. This sense of national pride is rooted in a remarkable historical legacy. During the height of the Achaemenid Empire, Persia was one of the most powerful empires in history. Its influence extended across vast territories and affected a significant portion of the world's population at the time. That legacy continues to influence how Iran views its place in the modern world. Rather than seeing itself simply as another country in the region, Iran often regards itself as an ancient civilization with a unique role on the international stage. Alongside its historical heritage, religion is another defining factor. While the majority of the Muslim world follows the Sunni branch of Islam, Iran serves as the most important center of Shia Islam. With approximately 90 to 95% of its population adhering to the Shia tradition, Iran has consistently maintained a strong interest in Shia communities around the world. This distinction has played an important role in shaping many of the key relationships and developments throughout the Middle East. Number 3. From close ally to long-term rival. Today, Iran is often discussed as one of the countries that has experienced decades of tension with the United States and Israel. However, before 1979, the situation was dramatically different and may come as a surprise to many people. For many years, Iran was one of Washington's most important strategic partners in the Middle East. Relations between the two countries expanded across multiple fields, particularly in military cooperation, security matters, and regional affairs. During that period, the United States provided Iran with privileges that were rarely extended to other allies. One of the clearest examples was Iran becoming the only foreign country to receive access to the F-14 fighter jet, along with several of the most advanced military systems available at the time. Even some of America's closest allies did not receive comparable support. Everything changed following the Islamic Revolution of 1979. The revolution marked a major turning point, leading Iran towards a political and ideological path that differed significantly from its previous direction. Relations with the United States and Israel quickly entered a period of tension, while diplomatic ties between the parties were severed. Because geographical distance makes direct confrontation difficult, Iran has focused on developing more indirect security strategies. At the same time, the country has invested heavily in underground defensive facilities, missile programs, and fortified military infrastructure to strengthen its ability to respond to external challenges. Number 4. Self-reliance shaped by years of sanctions. If you visit Iran carrying only a Visa or MasterCard, you may encounter considerable difficulties when making payments. Many globally familiar services such as Amazon, Uber, and several widely used online platforms do not operate in the same way that most people around the world experience every day. For many years, sanctions created a significant gap between Iran and the international economic system. However, rather than relying entirely on outside support, the country gradually developed many of its own alternatives. A domestic banking network was established to maintain payment services within the country. At the same time, numerous homegrown technology platforms emerged, serving a wide range of needs, from shopping and transportation to entertainment and communication. As a result, many daily activities can now be carried out through applications and services developed within Iran itself. This has helped create a digital ecosystem with a notable degree of independence. That self-reliance also extends into healthcare. As access to pharmaceutical supplies from abroad became more challenging, Iran increased its investment in domestic drug manufacturing. Today, a large share of the country's basic pharmaceutical needs is produced locally, helping to support the stability of its healthcare system. Meanwhile, the consumer market has evolved in its own distinctive direction, creating characteristics that are difficult to find in many other parts of the world. Number 5. Iranian women between education, ambition, and social constraints. When people think about Iranian women, they often rely on simplified images frequently seen in the media. In reality, the picture is far more diverse and complex. Iranian women are widely recognized for their distinctive beauty, high levels of education, and strong determination to succeed. They actively participate in society and continue to expand their presence across many important fields. Their commitment to education is reflected in the numbers. At many universities, female students make up a substantial portion of the student population. This is often seen as a sign of significant progress in educational opportunities and the evolving role of women in modern society. At the same time, this progress has been accompanied by ongoing public discussions. During certain periods, policies have been introduced that limited women's access to specific specialized fields of study. These decisions have been explained from different perspectives, but they have also sparked debates about equal opportunities in education. In addition, some legal and social regulations continue to place certain limitations on women's everyday lives. Access to particular public spaces, as well as participation in some recreational and sporting activities, has remained a topic of discussion for many years. Even so, younger generations of Iranians continue to seek opportunities to pursue their interests, further their education, and develop their talents. The interaction between long-standing traditions and modern aspirations has created a vibrant social landscape that reflects the ongoing changes taking place throughout the country. Number 6. A nation that follows its own rhythm of time. Iran is one of the few countries in the world that continues to use the solar Hijri calendar, a timekeeping system based on the Earth's movement around the sun. Its most distinctive feature is that the new year does not begin on January 1st, as it does in much of the world. Instead, it starts precisely at the spring equinox, when day and night are nearly equal in length across the globe. This creates a very different way of experiencing time. While many countries are entering the year 2026 according to the Gregorian calendar, people in Iran may be living in the year 1404 or 1405 according to their own calendar system. These dates are closely connected to historical, cultural, and religious traditions that have endured for centuries. The differences do not end with the calendar year. Iran's weekly schedule also follows its own pattern. While much of the world observes weekends on Saturday and Sunday, people in Iran traditionally take time off on Thursday and especially Friday, which holds important religious significance. This difference can occasionally create challenges in international business and coordination. By the time many countries are just beginning their work week, Iran may already be well underway with its own. The country's close connection to nature is also reflected in the celebration of Nowruz. During this festival, families prepare a traditional table featuring 7 symbolic items associated with good fortune. Decorated eggs are placed beside a mirror, symbolizing hope, renewal, and wishes for a brighter year ahead. Number 7. When spending quickly can sometimes be the practical choice. In Iran, years of currency fluctuations have shaped consumer habits in unique ways. The Iranian rial has experienced periods of significant depreciation, leading many people to think carefully about how to preserve the purchasing power of their money. As a result, many individuals prefer to use their income soon after receiving it, rather than keeping large amounts of cash for extended periods. They often prioritize purchasing food, essential goods, or tangible assets that may retain value more effectively than cash. The effects of inflation have made household financial management an especially important skill. Many families choose to accumulate gold or foreign currencies as a way to reduce exposure to market uncertainty. Another interesting feature of Iran's monetary system is the simultaneous use of two familiar units, the rial and the toman. While prices may be officially displayed in one unit, everyday conversations often use the other, creating confusion for many first-time visitors. A further point of interest is the difference between various categories of goods. While many consumer products are affected by inflation, fuel has traditionally been supported through government subsidies. As a result, the cost of filling a fuel tank in Iran can be considerably lower than in many other countries. Number 8. How Iran has developed its own information space. Iran is often regarded as one of the countries with a particularly distinctive approach to managing its digital environment. For many years, various internet regulations have been implemented to oversee information flows and manage access to certain international platforms. Concerns about information security have remained a high priority. From the perspective of policymakers, online data and digital content can have a significant impact on society. As a result, some globally popular tools and services have at times faced restrictions or stricter oversight. To reduce dependence on external infrastructure, Iran has developed a domestic internet network that includes a variety of locally based services. This system helps support online activity within the country and has contributed to the creation of a digital environment with its own unique characteristics. The media sector is also governed by its own set of regulations. Certain forms of foreign broadcasting have at times faced limitations, with the stated goal of preserving cultural and social priorities. Even so, interest in connecting with the wider world remains strong, especially among younger generations. Many people actively seek access to international trends, ideas, and information. Interestingly, some platforms that face restrictions are still used by individuals as tools for promoting products and growing small businesses. Number 9. When a nose bandage becomes a status symbol. In many parts of the world, people often try to hide signs of cosmetic surgery. In Iran, however, the opposite has sometimes been observed. A bandage worn across the nose after surgery is not always viewed as something to conceal. In certain social circles, it has even been seen as a symbol of modernity and financial means. Within a cultural environment where traditional dress follows specific conventions, the face often becomes an important way for individuals to express personal style. As a result, facial appearance and features receive considerable attention. This has contributed to Iran becoming one of the countries with a notably high number of rhinoplasty procedures. Every year, many people visit cosmetic clinics with the goal of enhancing their appearance and increasing their confidence. An interesting aspect of this trend is that many individuals continue wearing their post-surgery bandages in public even after leaving the clinic. Over time, this image has become associated with personal grooming, appearance, and lifestyle. The trend became so widespread that some people reportedly began wearing similar bandages as a symbolic fashion statement despite never having undergone surgery. The interest in cosmetic procedures is not limited to women. An increasing number of men have also become part of this beauty trend. As demand continues to grow, Iran's cosmetic industry has expanded significantly, while professional training programs have also developed to meet the rising public interest in beauty and aesthetic services. Number 10. A unique tradition of courtesy and a famous culture of hospitality. If a shopkeeper in Iran repeatedly refuses to accept your payment, do not immediately assume that something unusual is happening. In many cases, it's part of a traditional social custom that reflects politeness, humility, and respect in everyday interactions. According to this custom, the seller may initially decline payment, while the customer continues to insist on paying. After several exchanges of this kind, the transaction is finally completed. The important aspect is not the money itself, but the mutual respect demonstrated between both parties. This spirit can also be seen throughout daily life. Regardless of their economic circumstances, many people are willing to share food, offer a cup of hot tea, or provide assistance to visitors and guests. Hospitality has long been an essential part of Iranian culture. Many families believe that treating guests generously is a reflection of personal honor, dignity, and respect. When guests visit a home, the most comfortable seats are often offered to them first. Hosts are typically willing to give up the best spaces for their visitors, even if it means accepting simpler accommodations for themselves. These distinctive social customs have helped shape a unique cultural identity that places great value on human relationships, generosity, and social connection. Number 11. The beauty of imperfection in Persian culture. When people think of Persian carpets, they often imagine some of the most intricate and celebrated handcrafted works in the world. These carpets are admired for their complexity, craftsmanship, and timeless artistic value. Yet, upon closer inspection, many contain a small detail that is not entirely perfect. It may be a slightly uneven pattern, a color variation, or a small design element that differs from the rest of the piece. What makes this particularly interesting is that these imperfections are often intentional rather than accidental. According to traditional beliefs, absolute perfection does not belong to human beings. For that reason, creating a flawless masterpiece can sometimes be seen as contrary to the spirit of humility. A small imperfection serves as a reminder of the natural limits of human creation. This philosophy is also reflected in classical Persian architecture. Many famous buildings feature dazzling decorative surfaces made from countless small mirror fragments that create spectacular light effects. Interestingly, this style is believed to have originated from the creative use of mirrors that were damaged during transportation. From materials that might have seemed incomplete or imperfect, skilled artisans create remarkable works of art, expressing the idea that beauty and value can sometimes emerge from imperfection itself. Number 12. Foods that surprise visitors to Iran. Iranian cuisine is well known for being flavorful, diverse, and nourishing. However, what often surprises visitors most are some of its unique preparation methods and traditional ingredients. One of the most distinctive dishes is kala pache. This traditional meal is prepared using a sheep's head and feet, slowly cooked with spices for many hours. The long cooking process produces tender meat, rich flavors, and a hearty source of energy. When served, the sheep's head is often presented in its original form, giving the dish an appearance that is difficult to mistake for anything else. Another familiar ingredient is kashk, a fermented dairy product that is concentrated and dried into a solid form. Known for its rich flavor and distinctive aroma, kashk is used in many traditional stews and dishes. It has also long been valued as a practical food source because of its nutritional content and ability to be stored for extended periods. Another popular treat is lavashak, a fruit snack made by drying pureed fruit under the sun. The result is a chewy delicacy with a pleasantly tangy flavor. It is often enjoyed after rich meals as a way of adding balance to the dining experience. Beyond these specialties, Iranians also enjoy refreshing frozen desserts made from thin starch noodles, shaved ice, and fruit flavorings. These cooling treats are especially popular during the warmer months and provide welcome relief from the heat. Number 13. Landscapes that seem to belong to another world. Beyond its famous historical and religious landmarks, Iran is home to a remarkable collection of natural wonders that can make visitors feel as though they have stepped onto a distant planet. These extraordinary landscapes were shaped by geological processes that have unfolded over thousands, and in some cases millions of years. One of the most spectacular sights is Bab-e-Sirt, a series of mineral springs famous for its stunning natural terraces formed from layers of travertine deposits. Water from two different mineral-rich springs flows continuously through small pools, creating a striking contrast of colors. One stream displays shades of reddish-orange due to its high iron content, while the other is known for its distinctive golden-yellow appearance. Another fascinating feature is that the water temperature remains relatively stable throughout the year. For this reason, the site has long been associated with local beliefs about relaxation and potential wellness benefits. Equally impressive is Hormuz Island, often referred to as the Red Island. The soil, rocks, and beaches display a wide range of vibrant colors thanks to the presence of volcanic minerals. Iran is also home to vast desert regions where giant sandstone formations have been sculpted by wind over countless centuries. Their unusual shapes create scenes that resemble the ruins of an ancient city forgotten amid an endless sea of sand. Number 14. Cultural etiquette that may surprise visitors. When traveling to Iran, many visitors are surprised to discover that some gestures commonly used elsewhere can carry very different meanings in local culture. For example, a thumbs-up gesture is often interpreted as a sign of approval or encouragement in many countries, but in certain situations it may be considered impolite. Differences in the meaning of gestures can occasionally lead to cultural misunderstandings, especially for those experiencing Iranian society for the first time. This is why learning about local customs before visiting is often highly recommended. The differences extend beyond communication. Many everyday habits are viewed through their own cultural standards. For instance, personal actions such as blowing one's nose in public are generally considered more appropriate when done in a private setting. Clothing is another area where visitors may notice specific expectations. In many social situations, men are encouraged to dress modestly, even during warm weather. Professional environments typically favor attire that is respectful and aligned with local cultural norms. Even public spaces reflect long-established ideas about cleanliness and daily life. From the layout of facilities to the design of public amenities, many details have been developed in accordance with social practices that have existed in Iranian society for generations. Number 15. Things travelers should know before visiting Iran. If you ever have the opportunity to visit Iran, you may be pleasantly surprised by how affordable travel can be compared to many destinations around the world. Exchange rate differences often provide a significant advantage for travelers using stronger foreign currencies. With a budget of around $15 to $25 per night, it is possible to stay in artistic hostels located in major cities, such as Tehran or Isfahan. These accommodations often blend modern design with local cultural influences, creating a unique experience for visitors. For those seeking additional comfort, a budget of approximately $50 to $70 can provide access to international standard hotels offering a full range of amenities and services. Meanwhile, spending between $120 and $180 may allow travelers to stay in beautifully restored historic mansions that have been converted into boutique hotels, complete with traditional courtyards, decorative pools, and classic Persian architecture. Iranian cuisine is another highlight. Traditional dishes such as kebabs, saffron rice, and various grilled meats are often available at reasonable prices. Even at high-quality restaurants, the cost of a meal is frequently lower than what travelers might expect in many developed countries. Transportation is also relatively affordable thanks to a diverse transit network and comparatively low fuel costs. Whether traveling by metro, taxi, or intercity bus, visitors can find options suited to a wide range of budgets. Before traveling, however, it is important to prepare carefully regarding payment methods, as many international financial services are not widely supported. Carrying sufficient cash is often essential. Travelers should also stay informed about entry requirements, local regulations, security conditions, and any policy changes that may affect their journey. And those are 15 fascinating facts about Iran. We hope these insights have provided a broader and more balanced perspective on this unique country. Please remember that all information presented here is intended for general reference purposes only. Be sure to consult multiple reliable sources before making any travel plans or important decisions. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery, and we look forward to seeing you again in future explorations around the world. Number 1. The only homeland of the Jewish people and a focal point of regional turmoil. Israel is the only country in the world established as a homeland for the Jewish people, a community that makes up less than 0.2% of the global population. Despite their small numbers, Jewish people have had an extraordinary impact in the world of knowledge and innovation, contributing more than 22% of all Nobel Prize winners worldwide. Israel alone has earned 13 Nobel Prizes in scientific fields, highlighting an exceptional concentration of talent compared to many countries with far larger populations. However, behind these remarkable achievements lies a long and turbulent history. Before 1948, the land that is now Israel and Palestine was home to Muslim, Christian, and Jewish communities living side by side. Over time, the involvement of external powers led to a series of different promises and commitments, deepening disputes over self-determination and territorial rights. A major turning point came in 1947 when the United Nations proposed a plan to divide the region into 2 states. For the Jewish people, it was seen as an opportunity to rebuild a homeland after centuries of dispersion. For many Arab communities, however, the decision was viewed as a significant loss of land. In 1948, Israel officially declared its independence. Armed conflicts with neighboring countries soon followed. Despite these challenges, Israel maintained its position and expanded the areas under its control. Notably, the United States recognized the new state just 11 minutes after its declaration, creating a memorable milestone in modern history. Number 2. When human creativity and determination conquer nature. How would you survive in a land dominated by scorching heat, endless sunshine, and vast stretches of sand? That is the reality in Israel, where more than 60% of the country's territory is desert. As a result, nearly 10 million people must live within a relatively limited area of fertile land. The hot, dry climate, scarce rainfall, and shortage of fresh water have long posed major challenges for the nation. Rather than accepting the limits imposed by nature, Israelis developed innovative solutions. One of their most significant achievements is drip irrigation technology. This system delivers water directly to plant roots in carefully controlled amounts, dramatically reducing waste while improving agricultural efficiency. Israel has also become a global leader in water recycling. Household wastewater is collected, treated, and reused for agriculture at one of the highest rates in the world. As a result, every available resource is utilized as efficiently as possible. In addition, the country has invested heavily in seawater desalination technology, producing large quantities of fresh water for everyday use. Even the Dead Sea, famous for its extreme salinity, has become a major destination for tourism and wellness treatments. From a land filled with natural challenges, Israel has demonstrated how human ingenuity can transform obstacles into opportunities for growth. Number 3. The spirit of chutzpah, turning pressure into the driving force behind a startup nation. Israel presents a unique development paradox. The very isolation and pressure created by its surrounding environment have become powerful forces driving innovation and intellectual growth. Unable to rely heavily on external resources, the country has had to depend primarily on human talent. This has led Israel to invest approximately 4.9% of its GDP in research and development, a figure that surpasses many of the world's largest economies. At the heart of this success lies a distinctive educational mindset. While many countries emphasize conformity and obedience, Israeli children are encouraged to embrace the spirit of chutzpah, the courage to question, challenge assumptions, and think independently. From an early age, students learn through the chavruta method, where two individuals engage in direct discussion and debate to explore issues at their deepest level. These conversations can be lengthy, but their ultimate goal is always to discover the most convincing truth. This mindset extends far beyond the classroom and into the workplace. A young employee may openly challenge a manager's opinion if they believe something is flawed or incomplete. In this culture, speaking up is not considered disrespectful. Rather, it is seen as a sign of independent thinking and shared responsibility. Perhaps most importantly, failure is not treated as something shameful that must be hidden. Instead, it is viewed as a natural part of the creative process. In some organizations, failed projects are even preserved and recognized as evidence of a willingness to innovate and take risks. This environment of experimentation and learning from mistakes has helped Israel earn its reputation as the startup nation, home to more than 6,000 technology companies and a source of innovations that have influenced people around the world. Number 4. The women of steel in the harsh reality of the Middle East. When visiting Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, it is not uncommon to see young, modern women dressed in everyday clothing while carrying a rifle over their shoulder. This is not a rare exception but a familiar part of life in Israel, where women play an important role in the country's military system. Unlike many other nations, Israel requires both men and women to complete mandatory military service. From the age of 18, women are required to serve in the military for at least 24 months. As a result, women make up approximately 31% of the armed forces, one of the highest proportions in the world. Their contribution goes far beyond support roles. Israeli women serve in a wide range of strategic positions. They may operate tanks, take part in combat units, or manage advanced military technology systems. This reflects the growing involvement of women in fields that demand discipline, resilience, and the ability to perform under pressure. Military service is not only about national defense. It is also a place where character and leadership skills are developed. Abilities such as rapid decision-making, handling high-stress situations, and strategic thinking are cultivated during service and often remain valuable throughout life. Thanks to this foundation, Israeli women hold a relatively high share of leadership and executive positions. Their influence extends beyond the military, playing an important role in the country's modern economy and society. Number 5. Israel's military strength and strategic intelligence network. Many people assume that Israel's military strength comes primarily from financial resources or external support. However, one of the key factors lies in how the country develops its people and builds highly organized and effective intelligence capabilities. Within the Israeli military, training goes far beyond combat skills. It serves as a real-world leadership academy where individuals learn to perform under intense pressure. From a young age, many are required to make quick decisions, manage complex situations, and take direct responsibility for their choices. This experience helps shape a generation known for flexibility, adaptability, and problem-solving skills. One particularly notable area is the country's technology and cyber defense units, including the well-known Unit 8200. This organization has trained many specialists in fields such as cybersecurity, data analysis, and artificial intelligence. After completing their service, many alumni go on to become founders, executives, and innovators within the technology sector, helping to drive Israel's startup ecosystem. Alongside these efforts, Israel maintains intelligence agencies with international reach and a reputation for precision. Many operations require sophisticated coordination, strict confidentiality, and extensive information gathering, demonstrating a remarkable level of organizational capability. Overall, Israel's strength is not based solely on weapons or technology. It is also rooted in its people, strategic thinking, and systems built upon a foundation of discipline and long-term planning. Number 6. The Iron Shield. Protecting the sky from threats. How can a nation maintain a normal rhythm of daily life while facing the constant possibility of attacks from the air? Part of the answer lies in a defense system known as Iron Dome. More than just a radar system, Iron Dome is an advanced air defense network specifically designed to intercept short-range rockets and artillery projectiles, particularly those headed toward populated areas. When warning sirens sound, people often have only seconds to react. The system, however, operates automatically and at remarkable speed. The moment a projectile is detected, Iron Dome analyzes its trajectory within seconds. If the system determines that the object poses no danger, it does not engage, conserving valuable resources. If the projectile is assessed as a threat to residential neighborhoods, schools, or critical infrastructure, an interceptor is launched immediately. Perhaps the most impressive feature is its rapid response time, typically ranging from 15 to 30 seconds. Through fast and accurate processing, the system has achieved an interception rate often reported at around 90%, creating a protective shield over populated areas and helping reduce risks to everyday life. Number 7. Innovative and groundbreaking urban transportation solutions. Hidden beneath the city of Haifa lies a unique transportation system known as the Carmelit, the shortest subway line in the world. While its length is modest and it operates with only a few train cars along a single tunnel route, what makes it remarkable is not its size but its ability to adapt to extremely steep terrain. During its brief journey, the train climbs an elevation of up to 268 meters, carrying passengers from the foot of the mountain to higher neighborhoods in just a few minutes, perfectly suited to the landscape of Mount Carmel. To overcome this challenge, engineers designed the train's interior with stepped flooring, creating an experience similar to traveling in an inclined elevator. This design maximizes available space while maintaining safety, all without requiring major expansion of surface infrastructure. While many major cities continue to struggle with severe traffic congestion, Tel Aviv has chosen a different path. The city has become one of the world's leading urban centers in the use of electric two-wheeled transportation. Compact vehicles such as electric bicycles and electric scooters allow residents to move around more efficiently, especially during rush hour. One notable advantage is that these small vehicles often maintain a steady travel speed and can even move faster than cars in heavily crowded areas. Residents frequently combine multiple modes of transportation within a single journey, creating a flexible and highly efficient mobility network. This is a clear example of how Israel transforms transportation challenges into opportunities for innovation and creative problem-solving. Number 8. The remarkable revival of an ancient language. Hebrew, the ancestral language of the Jewish people, spent more than 2,000 years without being used as an everyday spoken language. Throughout that long period, it survived primarily in religious ceremonies and prayers, existing more as a spiritual heritage than as a practical means of communication. A major turning point came in the late 19th century, when Eliezer ben Yehuda began the ambitious effort to restore Hebrew as a living language. He started within his own family, following a strict rule: only Hebrew could be spoken in daily life. This environment enabled his son to become the first person in centuries to grow up speaking Hebrew as a native language. The greatest challenge, however, was the limited vocabulary available. An ancient language did not contain enough words to describe modern concepts such as automobiles, telephones, or airplanes. To solve this problem, Ben Yehuda adapted linguistic structures from other languages and created thousands of new words suited to contemporary life. The result was a phenomenon rarely seen in human history. Hebrew became the only language known to have been revived after lying largely dormant for thousands of years and then restored to full everyday use. Today, it is the native language of millions of people in Israel and is used across every aspect of modern society. From what once seemed like a forgotten legacy, Hebrew has made a powerful and extraordinary comeback. Number 9. Health protection laws and a different perspective on freedom. Although Israel is often associated with traditional and religious customs, the country has adopted a relatively progressive approach in several areas of social policy, frequently challenging common assumptions through modern reforms. One notable example is Tel Aviv, a city widely regarded as an open and welcoming environment for the LGBT community. Same-sex couples can live openly and express themselves freely. Even within the military, a highly structured and disciplined institution, LGBT individuals are able to serve openly, reflecting a broader commitment to respecting personal diversity. Beyond social issues, Israel has also attracted attention in the fashion industry through a distinctive health-focused regulation. The country prohibits models with a body mass index, or BMI, below 18 from participating in fashion shows or appearing in advertising campaigns. The goal is to discourage extreme beauty standards that may negatively affect public health. In addition, advertisements that digitally alter a person's body shape or appearance must clearly disclose those modifications. This allows viewers to better recognize what is real and helps reduce pressure created by unrealistic images. Through policies such as these, Israel demonstrates an approach that seeks to balance individual freedom with the protection of public health and well-being. Number 10. The strict yet fascinating world of Jewish cuisine. In Israel, food is much more than a matter of eating and drinking. It is deeply connected to religious traditions, most notably the dietary laws known as kosher. One of the most important principles is that meat and dairy products must never be combined in the same dish or even within the same meal. If you walk into a traditional restaurant in Jerusalem and order a meat dish with cheese, you will most likely receive a polite but firm refusal. This rule extends far beyond restaurants and is woven into the daily lives of many families. Separate sets of kitchen utensils are often used, including pots, pans, plates, and cutlery, to ensure that even the slightest mixing of meat and dairy is avoided. If the rule is violated, the food is considered unsuitable for consumption under kosher guidelines. Despite these strict restrictions, Israeli cuisine remains remarkably diverse and flavorful. In bustling markets, you can easily find the aroma of falafel, crispy golden chickpea fritters that have become a beloved staple. Another popular favorite is shawarma, thinly sliced roasted meat wrapped in pita bread with fresh vegetables and rich sauces, creating a satisfying and energetic meal enjoyed throughout the country. Equally iconic is shakshuka, a dish of eggs gently cooked in a hot tomato sauce infused with the distinctive spices of the Mediterranean region. It is this unique blend of strict tradition and culinary creativity that gives Israeli cuisine its distinctive character. Number 11. Sacred holidays and a unique cultural identity. When people think of Israel, they often imagine a modern nation driven by technology, innovation, and fast-paced urban life. Yet behind that image lies a very different reality, one in which an entire society can seemingly pause during special moments of the year. This begins with the Sabbath, a sacred period that lasts from Friday evening until Saturday evening. During this time, daily life slows dramatically. Public transportation stops operating, many businesses close, and the streets become unusually quiet. A dynamic economy temporarily pauses in order to preserve traditions that have been maintained for generations. At the same time, adaptation remains an important part of daily life. People have developed practical solutions such as Sabbath elevators, which operate automatically and stop at every floor without requiring passengers to press any buttons. This allows residents to follow religious practices while maintaining convenience. The sense of reflection becomes even more profound during Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year in Judaism. For approximately 25 hours, many people fast and refrain from most ordinary activities. Streets become so free of traffic that children can often ride bicycles along major roads, creating a scene unlike any other. In contrast, Hanukkah brings a festive atmosphere filled with light and celebration. Over the course of 8 days, candles are lit in homes and public spaces, creating a warm and uplifting spirit throughout the community. The combination of ancient traditions and modern life has shaped a cultural identity that is both distinctive and unforgettable. Number 12. Sacred sites and the thought-provoking paradoxes of history. In Jerusalem, the Western Wall is regarded as one of the holiest sites in Judaism. It is the remaining section of an ancient temple complex and attracts millions of worshippers and visitors every year. Many people write prayers on small pieces of paper and place them between the stones. The number of notes is so great that they must be collected and handled according to religious tradition on a regular basis. Directly above this area stands the Temple Mount, one of the most sacred locations in Islam. The coexistence of these deeply significant religious sites within such a limited space has created a complex reality that reflects centuries of history, faith, and cultural significance. Not far away is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, traditionally associated with the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. One of its most unusual features is that the keys to the church have been entrusted to 2 Muslim families for generations. This arrangement has helped maintain balance among the different Christian denominations that share responsibility for the site. In Bethlehem, traditionally recognized as the birthplace of Jesus, visitors can see the location that symbolizes where his birth is believed to have taken place, preserved within an ancient church. Over time, however, demographic changes have transformed the region, and the Christian community today represents only a small portion of the local population. These sacred places are more than religious landmarks. They reflect the complex intersection of history, culture, and faith, offering a powerful reminder of humanity's shared heritage and the many layers of meaning that have shaped this region over thousands of years. Number 13. Important cultural taboos and precautions to keep in mind. In Israel, there are several cultural and safety-related customs that visitors should understand in order to avoid uncomfortable situations. One of the first things to be aware of involves everyday social interactions. Within some Orthodox Jewish communities, physical contact between unrelated men and women is often restricted. Gestures that may seem perfectly normal elsewhere, such as handshakes or hugs, may not always be appropriate unless the individuals are close family members or spouses. Beyond cultural considerations, safety awareness is also important. In certain remote areas, particularly near borders or elevated regions, hazardous materials left behind from past conflicts may still exist. For this reason, leaving marked roads or designated routes is generally not considered a safe choice. From a social perspective, military service is widely regarded as an important civic responsibility. While choosing not to serve may be viewed casually in some countries, in Israel it is often seen differently. Military service is commonly viewed as a direct contribution to both the community and national security. In addition, security procedures at checkpoints can be quite thorough. Travelers are advised to follow instructions carefully and avoid carrying items that could create misunderstandings or require extensive inspection. Understanding and respecting these customs can help make your journey smoother while demonstrating consideration for local traditions and social norms. Number 14. Unwritten rules every visitor should know before traveling to Israel. Upon arriving in Israel, many visitors quickly notice the direct communication style of the local people. Conversations are often straightforward, with less emphasis on indirect or overly formal language. As a result, it is not unusual for someone to ask about your profession, age, or marital status during an initial meeting. This is generally seen as a friendly way to establish familiarity rather than an invasion of privacy. Another important consideration is clothing. In Tel Aviv, fashion tends to be modern, relaxed, and highly diverse. However, when visiting Jerusalem or religious sites, modest attire is generally expected. Choosing appropriate clothing not only helps you blend in more comfortably but also demonstrates respect for local customs and sacred spaces. Security procedures at Ben Gurion Airport are another notable aspect of travel in Israel. The screening process is comprehensive and combines advanced technology with direct interviews. Security personnel may ask detailed questions to verify the consistency of travel information. Remaining calm and answering clearly is often the best approach. Spending habits are also worth understanding. In restaurants, leaving a tip of around 10 to 15% is commonly considered standard practice. In contrast, bargaining is often a normal part of shopping in traditional markets. Being flexible and understanding local expectations can make the experience more enjoyable. Knowing these unwritten rules can help make your visit more comfortable enjoyable, and rewarding. Number 15. Essential advice for travelers. If you are planning to visit Tel Aviv, it is important to be prepared for relatively high expenses. With a strong economy and a valuable national currency, prices are often compared to those found in expensive cities such as Zurich or New York City. Even budget-friendly accommodations such as a bed in a shared hostel room typically costs between $30 and $45 per night. Hotels in central Tel Aviv or Jerusalem often range from $120 to $180 per night, while luxury hotels and resort properties can cost anywhere from $300 to $500 or more per night. Dining costs can also be significant. A simple falafel meal may cost approximately $8 to $12. At a modern Mediterranean-style restaurant, a meal can easily range from $40 to $70 per person. Even drinks at beachfront bars tend to be expensive, with a craft beer often costing around $10 to $12. Transportation within cities is generally more affordable. Bus and urban rail tickets usually cost between $1.6 and $2.2. Taxis, however, can be relatively expensive, with even short trips of a few kilometers potentially costing $15 to $20. For travel between cities, the rail connection from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem typically costs around $7 to $10 and offers a comfortable and modern experience. Overall, travelers should plan for a minimum budget of approximately $100 to $120 per day for budget travel. A more comfortable experience may require around $250 per day, while premium travel experiences can easily reach $500 per day or more. One final consideration is security awareness. Conditions can change, and travelers are encouraged to check official travel advisories and local updates before and during their trip to stay informed and travel safely. We hope this information provides a clearer picture of what to expect when exploring Israel and helps you plan a more enjoyable journey. Please note, this content is intended for general informational purposes only. Be sure to conduct your own research and consult official sources before making any travel decisions. Number 1. One of the most desirable countries in the world for quality of life. In Oman, many policies designed for citizens come as a surprise to people from other parts of the world. Upon reaching adulthood, some citizens may become eligible for special benefits, ranging from financial assistance to land grants that help them establish a stable life. Under certain national welfare programs, male citizens who reach the age of 18 may be allocated a plot of land measuring approximately 600 square meters. Even more remarkable, individuals with lower incomes may receive support for building a home on that land. Thanks to these initiatives, housing shortages in Oman remain relatively uncommon. The funding for these welfare programs is largely supported by the country's substantial oil revenues. A significant portion of this wealth is reinvested to improve the quality of life for citizens. In difficult circumstances, some families may also receive various forms of assistance to help ease financial burdens. Oman's prosperity is also reflected in the Omani rial, which is widely recognized as one of the highest valued currencies in the world. Its value is so high that smaller currency units are commonly used in everyday transactions. Another notable aspect is that Omani citizens do not pay personal income tax. As a result, workers are able to keep most of what they earn, contributing significantly to a higher standard of living. Alongside economic prosperity, Oman enjoys a stable and secure environment. When basic needs are well supported, many social challenges tend to decrease. Yet one fascinating fact remains. Despite its wealth, Oman has very few skyscrapers. So what has led this nation to follow such a different path of development? Number 2. A wealthy nation that chose not to join the race for giant skyscrapers. In Oman, the height of buildings is influenced not only by development needs but also by strict regulations. Although it shares a border with the UAE, a country famous for its towering structures rising from the desert, Oman has chosen a completely different direction. Most buildings are constructed at moderate heights, creating a distinctive and harmonious skyline. This policy is intended to preserve the beauty of the country's cultural, historical, and religious landmarks, which hold special significance. In addition, most buildings are painted white or other light colors. This choice is not only aesthetic but also practical, as lighter colors reflect sunlight and help reduce cooling demands in the region's hot climate. While the overall architectural style remains consistent, residents often express their individuality through beautifully carved wooden doors. Many families consider these doors an important feature of their homes and are willing to invest significantly in unique designs that reflect their personal taste. Oman's sense of order is also evident in the way urban spaces are maintained. Vehicles are generally kept clean, helping create a tidy and pleasant city environment. Even the use of car horns is kept to a minimum unless absolutely necessary. Combined with an efficiently organized transportation system, this contributes to the remarkably peaceful atmosphere of Muscat. It is this sense of balance and harmony that gives Oman its distinctive character. Number 3. One of the most trusted negotiation platforms in the Middle East. In a region often marked by political tensions and long-standing competition for influence, Oman has earned a reputation for pursuing balance and dialogue. Rather than aligning itself completely with any particular side, the country has adopted a flexible diplomatic approach, making it a suitable venue for many important discussions. One of the most notable examples was Oman's role as a mediator in contacts that contributed to the nuclear agreement between the United States and Iran in 2015. The country has also maintained a policy of limited involvement in military alliances and has generally avoided becoming entangled in disputes that could deepen regional divisions. This cautious approach has helped Oman build a reputation as a reliable and trusted partner. Interestingly, today's stability emerged from a far less favorable starting point. Before 1970, Oman had limited infrastructure, very few schools, and a low literacy rate. At that time, the country was largely disconnected from the rapid development taking place across the modern world. Everything began to change when Sultan Qaboos bin Said introduced sweeping reforms. He encouraged greater openness, modernized government institutions, and invested oil revenues into education, healthcare, and public infrastructure. By focusing on human development, Oman achieved a remarkable transformation within just a few decades. From a nation facing significant challenges, it evolved into a symbol of stability, knowledge, and quality living in the Middle East. Number 4. A different perspective behind Oman's wealth. Although Oman is widely known as a country with a relatively high income per capita, it still faces a number of challenges related to the labor market. Every year, a large number of graduates enter the workforce, creating an increasing demand for employment opportunities for the younger generation. Part of this pressure stems from the fact that Oman's economy still relies heavily on the oil and gas sector. When energy prices fluctuate in international markets, the country's public revenue is affected as well. As a result, maintaining welfare programs and sustaining economic growth requires careful planning and long-term strategies. In addition to its domestic workforce, Oman attracts a large number of workers from various South Asian countries. They contribute to a wide range of sectors, including services, manufacturing, and trade, helping support the country's economic activity. To effectively manage its international workforce, Oman has established regulations related to labor sponsorship and business operations. In many cases, foreign nationals need legal cooperation or assistance from Omani citizens to complete certain administrative procedures. Individuals who wish to develop independent business activities may also need to go through several administrative steps. This approach allows Oman to welcome international talent and investment while maintaining careful oversight to ensure the stability of its domestic economy. Number 5. Where knowledge and tradition walk side by side across the Omani desert. Contrary to many common stereotypes about women in the Middle East, Omani women are playing an increasingly important role in the country's development. They are not only actively involved in education, but also make significant contributions across many professional fields. Today, more than half of all university graduates each year are women. Omani women can be found in a wide variety of professions. From lecturers, specialists, and managers to pilots and government officials, they continue to strengthen their presence and demonstrate their capabilities. Educational initiatives have created new opportunities, allowing women to participate more deeply in economic and social life. Alongside modernization, Oman continues to preserve its traditional cultural values. Among Bedouin communities living in desert and mountainous regions, the bat mask remains an important cultural symbol. Beyond its historical significance, its design also helps protect the face from the region's hot, dry, and dusty conditions. Another fascinating aspect of Omani culture can be found in its marriage traditions. According to custom, a groom provides a financial gift or dowry to the bride upon marriage. Notably, this property legally belongs to the woman and is protected by law. As a result, many women gain greater financial independence and a stronger foundation for their future lives. Number 6. Ancient traditions that continue to thrive in modern times. In Oman, many long-standing customs remain an important part of the nation's cultural identity. In the city of Ibra, a unique market takes place every Wednesday morning exclusively for women. More than just a place for trade, it serves as a social space where women can meet, talk, and exchange ideas. To protect the privacy of participants, photography within the market is strictly regulated. While Ibra is famous for its women-only market, the historic city of Nizwa is well known for its livestock auction, held every Friday morning. There, goats, sheep, and cattle are guided around a circle of participants while buyers place their bids on the spot. This traditional trading method has been passed down through generations and continues to play an important role in community life. Far out in the Wahiba Sands Desert, many Bedouin families still maintain a nomadic lifestyle. For them, it is not merely a way of living, but also a means of preserving values handed down from their ancestors. This cultural identity is also reflected in the traditional masks worn by women in desert communities. Over time, what was once associated with cultural customs has evolved into a distinctive symbol of local heritage. In the Dhofar region, the ancient Jabali language and traditional dances continue to be preserved, contributing to the rich cultural character that makes Oman such a fascinating and distinctive nation. Number 7. A journey through the unique flavors of the desert. Omani cuisine is remarkable not only for its distinctive flavors, but also for its traditional cooking methods that have been preserved for generations. Among its most famous dishes is shua, a specialty that is often prepared for festivals and important family celebrations. To make shua, goat or lamb meat is marinated with a blend of local spices. The meat is then carefully wrapped in several layers of leaves and placed inside an underground pit that has been heated in advance. It is cooked slowly, using the retained heat of the earth for many hours, sometimes even up to 2 days. This lengthy process results in meat that becomes incredibly tender and can almost fall off the bone. If shua represents the art of slow cooking, then halwa showcases the patience and skill of traditional confectioners. The ingredients are continuously stirred in large pots for several hours to create its signature smooth and elastic texture. Flavored with saffron, cardamom, and a variety of nuts, it has become one of the most recognizable sweets in Oman. On busy streets, mishkak is a popular favorite among locals and visitors alike. These grilled meat skewers, cooked over glowing charcoal and seasoned with local spices, offer a rich and memorable flavor. Another traditional dish often served during special occasions is hariz. Made from grains and meat that are cooked together until soft, it is known for its smooth texture and comforting taste. Perhaps surprisingly, Mountain Dew has become one of the most widely enjoyed beverages in Oman and is a familiar part of everyday life for many residents. Number 8. Fascinating contrasts in everyday life. In Oman, natural conditions play a major role in shaping daily life. During the hottest part of the year, outdoor temperatures can rise to extreme levels, making daytime labor under the sun particularly challenging. For this reason, many construction projects and infrastructure works are carried out primarily at night. Once the sun sets and temperatures begin to drop, work activities become far more active. While Oman's cities continue to modernize, many coastal communities still preserve traditional fishing methods that have existed for generations. In shallow waters, local fishermen rely on careful observation, knowledge of the tides, and skills passed down through their families to harvest the sea's resources. This reflects the enduring connection between people and nature. Oman's unique character is also reflected in its culture of hospitality. When welcoming guests into their homes, hosts often serve traditional coffee flavored with fragrant cardamom. This is usually accompanied by sweet dates, creating a simple yet harmonious combination of flavors. The tradition is widely regarded as a symbol of hospitality and respect for visitors. Alongside its warm and welcoming culture, Oman also maintains regulations governing certain products and public activities. Some goods are managed through licensing systems and specific legal requirements. Even in natural tourist destinations, visitors are encouraged to choose appropriate clothing as a sign of respect for the cultural values that have been preserved across generations. Number 9. The colorful folk beliefs of Oman. Located approximately 200 kilometers from Muscat, the ancient city of Bahla has long been associated with a rich collection of legends and traditional stories. The city is home to an extensive earthen wall stretching for several kilometers and has become a center for folklore passed down from one generation to the next. These traditional beliefs once played a significant role in the daily lives of local residents. In the past, some families even secured palm trees with chains or other sturdy objects. According to local folklore, this practice was believed to help protect the trees from unseen forces often mentioned in traditional oral stories. Many communities also preserve cultural rituals focused on emotional and spiritual well-being. When someone experiences prolonged stress or exhaustion, families may organize ceremonial gatherings featuring drums and repetitive musical rhythms that continue for several days. These activities are traditionally viewed as a way to restore inner balance and maintain a connection with long-standing cultural traditions. Folk beliefs can also be seen in the way children are cared for. When complimenting a healthy or adorable baby, many people accompany their praise with wishes for safety, happiness, and good fortune. According to local customs, these words are believed to send positive blessings to the child. Even after a child is born, certain traditions continue to be observed. One example is the custom of burying the placenta near the family's home, symbolizing the child's lifelong connection to their homeland, roots, and family heritage. Number 10. One-of-a-kind destinations in Oman. At the top of the list is Musandam Peninsula, a region physically separated from the rest of Oman by territories belonging to the UAE. This geographic isolation, which has lasted for generations, has helped create a unique cultural identity. In some villages, residents even speak dialects influenced by a mixture of different languages, adding a distinctive layer of diversity to everyday communication. However, Musandam's greatest significance lies in its strategic location. The peninsula sits near the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important maritime routes for energy transportation. Every day, large numbers of oil tankers pass through these waters, making the region a vital point on the global economic map. Equally fascinating is the area of Mada, home to a rare and unusual border arrangement. Here, the territory of one country is entirely surrounded by another, creating a geographic curiosity that attracts the interest of travelers from around the world. Oman is also blessed with impressive natural wonders. Majlis al-Jinn Cave is considered one of the largest cave chambers on Earth, featuring an enormous underground space hidden deep beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Wadi Shab captivates visitors with its turquoise pools and dramatic cliffs shaped over millions of years. Further south, near Salalah, many travelers are intrigued by the so-called uphill rolling phenomenon, where vehicles appear to move uphill on their own. In reality, this is an optical illusion created by the surrounding landscape and terrain. Completing the picture is the ancient Aflaj irrigation system. These water channels, operating entirely through natural gradients, have sustained desert oases for centuries and stand as a remarkable example of traditional engineering. Number 11. The land of legendary fragrances. Oman is often regarded as a place where the art of perfumery has reached an exceptional level, becoming an important part of the nation's cultural identity. To produce just 1 liter of high-quality rose oil, artisans may need to hand-harvest tons of rose petals from mountainous regions. This painstaking process reflects the extraordinary craftsmanship behind Oman's fragrance industry. One of the most notable examples is Amouage, a luxury perfume house established in 1983 under the vision of Sultan Qaboos. In its early years, the brand's creations were intended as distinguished diplomatic gifts for heads of state and important dignitaries. Over time, Amouage evolved into a global symbol of luxury, renowned for fragrances crafted from rare and precious ingredients. The signature character of these perfumes comes from the harmonious blend of Omani frankincense, aromatic woods, and roses grown in the highlands. Beyond the fragrances themselves, great attention is devoted to the design of each bottle, reflecting the country's rich culture and history. Alongside the perfume industry stands the ancient tradition of frankincense harvesting. For thousands of years, Oman served as one of the world's most important sources of frankincense, supplying ancient civilizations across vast trade networks. This aromatic resin was once considered a highly valuable commodity and played a prominent role in international commerce. Today, frankincense continues to hold an important place in everyday life. It is used in homes, cultural ceremonies, and traditional practices, remaining an essential part of Omani heritage. Number 12. When the desert unexpectedly turns green. Few people would imagine that within a country famous for its hot and arid climate, there exists a region filled with lush greenery and thick mist. That place is Salalah, located in southern Oman, where a remarkable climate phenomenon known as the Kharif season creates one of nature's most extraordinary transformations. Every year, from June through September, moisture-laden monsoon winds from the Indian Ocean begin to influence the region. Within a relatively short period, the landscape changes dramatically. Dry terrain gradually becomes covered in green vegetation, plants flourish, and even waterfalls emerge in areas more commonly associated with desert scenery. What makes this phenomenon especially remarkable is that while much of the Middle East experiences intense heat during the same period, Salalah enjoys a cooler and more comfortable climate. These conditions allow tropical crops such as coconuts, bananas, and papayas to thrive in what is otherwise considered a semi-desert environment. Along the roads, fresh fruit stalls appear almost everywhere, creating the impression of a tropical destination rather than a desert region. Thick mist, drifting across green hillsides and open fields, adds an atmosphere that feels both unusual and captivating. To celebrate this rare green season, the Kharif Festival is held every year and attracts large numbers of visitors. The combination of coastline, mountains, waterfalls, and abundant vegetation has transformed Salalah into one of the most spectacular destinations in Oman. Number 13. How people and animals together shape Oman's identity. In Oman, the connection between people and the animal world is not merely a feature of modern life. It is a relationship that has been built over thousands of years. Among its most iconic symbols is the purebred Arabian horse, a breed recognized and admired around the world. Known for its impressive speed, remarkable endurance, and exceptional agility, it is considered one of the most valuable horse breeds in history. Because of these qualities, Arabian horses have played a major role in the development and improvement of many modern horse breeds across the globe. Outstanding specimens can command extremely high values and are highly sought after by equestrian enthusiasts and participants in traditional horse riding sports. At cultural events, equestrian performances are often among the most anticipated attractions. Skilled riders demonstrate extraordinary control through complex maneuvers that require perfect coordination between horse and rider. These performances are more than entertainment. They are living expressions of the spirit and traditions of the desert people. Alongside the Arabian horse, the Arabian oryx also holds a special place in Omani culture. This graceful animal is admired as a symbol of agility, elegance, and resilience in harsh environments. Its image can be found in many aspects of Omani life and culture. Beyond the land, Oman's marine environment is also carefully protected. Many coastal areas serve as nesting grounds where sea turtles return each year to lay their eggs. These sites are closely monitored to help preserve the region's valuable natural ecosystems. Number 14. Important things travelers should know before visiting Oman. Exploring Oman can be a fascinating experience, but visitors should also be aware of several cultural customs and expectations. Unlike many Western destinations, clothing in public spaces is often viewed as a reflection of respect for local traditions. Men are generally encouraged to dress neatly, while women are advised to cover their shoulders and knees when visiting crowded public areas. In addition, excessive displays of affection in public are generally discouraged. Prolonged intimate behavior may attract unwanted attention and could occasionally result in reminders from local authorities. This reflects the importance that Omani society places on cultural and religious values. Respect for personal privacy is another important consideration. Visitors should ask for permission before taking photographs of local people whenever possible. Government facilities and security-related locations may also have strict rules regarding photography and video recording. In daily interactions, the right hand is commonly used for greeting others, exchanging items, and eating. Paying attention to these small cultural details can help travelers build positive connections with local residents. Alcoholic beverages may only be consumed in licensed establishments. Visitors are also expected to follow environmental regulations at beaches, nature reserves, and protected areas. A combination of cultural awareness and environmental responsibility can help make any trip to Oman more enjoyable, respectful, and rewarding. Number 15. Is traveling in Oman really expensive? For many visitors, planning a trip to Oman begins with accommodation costs. With a budget of around $30 to $50 per night, travelers can usually find guest houses or budget hotels offering basic amenities. Given the country's hot climate, air conditioning is considered an essential feature in almost all types of accommodation. Increasing the budget to approximately $80 to $120 per night opens access to comfortable mid-range hotels, particularly in central areas of Muscat. This option offers a good balance between affordability and convenience. Travelers spending between $200 and $350 per night can enjoy beachfront resorts or eco-camps set amid Oman's distinctive desert landscapes. Food costs can also vary considerably. Popular local dishes such as grilled meat wraps or biryani rice often cost only $2 to $5 at local eateries. More elaborate traditional meals featuring specialty dishes may range from $25 to $40 per person. For transportation, public buses are an economical option, with short routes often costing between $1 and $2. However, because urban areas are relatively spread out, taxis and ride-hailing services are widely used. Renting a car, typically costing around $35 to $50 per day, is also a popular choice for travelers who want the freedom to explore Oman's vast desert roads and scenic landscapes. Overall, budget-conscious travelers may spend roughly $70 to $90 per day, while a more comfortable travel style may require between $150 and $200 daily. Although Oman is not the cheapest destination in the region, it continues to attract visitors with its modern infrastructure, safe environment, and uniquely rewarding travel experiences. Please note that travel costs and conditions may change over time. This information is provided for general reference, and travelers are encouraged to conduct additional research before planning their trip. Have you ever imagined a place where wearing a bikini is restricted on public beaches? A place where tattoos are expected to be carefully covered, and inappropriate language can lead to serious legal consequences? That place is Oman, a country known for its unique customs and rules unlike almost anywhere else. Are you ready to be surprised? Oman is waiting to reveal its hidden treasures and remarkable traditions. Let's begin our journey. Number 16. Tattoos are viewed very differently in Oman. In many parts of the world, tattoos are seen as a form of personal expression or a way to preserve meaningful memories. However, when visiting Oman, you will quickly discover that attitudes toward tattoos are quite different. Travelers should understand that visible body art may not be accepted as openly as it is elsewhere. In this Middle Eastern nation, tattoos are sometimes associated with behavior that is considered improper or rebellious. To understand this perspective, it is important to consider the country's unique cultural and religious traditions, which continue to shape Oman's social values and expectations today. As an Islamic country, Oman places great importance on preserving the natural beauty and integrity of the human body. According to widely held beliefs, the body is a perfect creation, and permanent tattoos are often viewed as unnecessary alterations. This belief is rooted not only in religious teachings, but also in long-standing cultural traditions that are carefully preserved. Historically, tattoos in the region were sometimes associated with criminal groups or people living outside accepted social norms. Although modern attitudes have evolved, this perception still exists among some members of society. For many Omanis, modesty and natural beauty remain the highest standards of elegance. If you have large or highly visible tattoos, covering them is the most respectful choice. Wearing modest clothing not only helps you avoid unwanted attention, but also demonstrates genuine respect for local customs and traditions. During the hot summer months, a lightweight pashmina scarf is an excellent solution. Comfortable, stylish, and available in many colors, it provides an elegant way to cover tattoos while helping visitors blend naturally into Omani culture throughout their journey. Number 15. Alcohol is strictly restricted. If you enjoy wine, cocktails, or lively social gatherings centered around alcoholic drinks, Oman may offer a very different experience. As an Islamic nation, alcohol is strictly regulated and plays virtually no role in the daily lives of most local residents. Instead, Oman has developed a rich and fascinating tea culture. Tea is much more than an ordinary beverage. It is an essential part of hospitality and social interaction. Offering a guest a cup of tea is one of the most genuine expressions of warmth and welcome, often prepared using traditional recipes infused with aromatic Middle Eastern spices. Tea in Oman is commonly flavored with nutmeg, cloves, and cardamom, creating a rich and distinctive taste. According to statistics from 2022, people in Oman consume approximately 1 million cups of tea every day, highlighting its important place in everyday life. You can enjoy tea almost anywhere, from simple neighborhood cafes to luxurious hotels. For many Omanis, starting the day with a fresh cup of tea is an essential daily ritual. In traditional markets such as Mutra Souk, the inviting aroma of freshly brewed tea fills the air, blending with the lively atmosphere and adding to the unforgettable charm of Oman. Number 14. Toilet paper is not commonly found in many restrooms. One of the biggest surprises for many international visitors to Oman is that toilet paper is not always provided in restrooms. Instead, most people use a handheld bidet spray, commonly known as a shada, for personal hygiene. This is a long-established custom and an important part of everyday life throughout the region. This method is widely valued for its cleanliness and environmental benefits. According to a report from Oman's Ministry of Environment, the widespread use of water instead of paper has helped reduce hundreds of tons of waste each year, making a meaningful contribution to resource conservation and more sustainable living. Beyond hygiene, this practice is also deeply connected to religious traditions. In Islam, cleanliness is considered essential to spiritual life, and water is regarded as the most effective means of purification. Washing with water helps worshippers prepare themselves for their daily prayers in a state of physical and spiritual cleanliness. For visitors, using a bidet spray may be a new experience, but most people quickly find it practical and easy to use. Nearly all public restrooms and hotels in Oman are equipped with this modern fixture. However, because toilet paper is not always available, carrying a small supply with you can make your trip more convenient. It is also a good idea to check the water pressure before using the spray to avoid unexpected splashes. This simple daily habit not only promotes better hygiene, but also reflects a strong commitment to protecting the environment. Adopting this small change can give visitors a deeper appreciation of the country's sustainable approach to everyday life. Number 13. Ramadan is the holiest month in Islam. In Oman, Ramadan is observed with the deepest respect and devotion. From dawn until sunset, Muslims fast each day as a way to strengthen self-discipline, develop compassion, and deepen their spiritual connection. It is the most important period in the religious life of the Omani people. Although visitors are not expected to fast, respecting local customs during this sacred month is essential. The most important guideline is to avoid eating, drinking, or smoking in public during daylight hours. Throughout Ramadan, cities such as Muscat often become noticeably quieter and more peaceful than usual. Most restaurants, cafes, and other food establishments remain closed during the day to allow people to focus on worship, charity, and family life. Playing loud music or eating openly in public is generally considered impolite during this time. Visitors are encouraged to adjust their daily schedules to respect the atmosphere observed across the country. With more than 90% of the population taking part, Ramadan is far more than a religious tradition. It serves as an important moral and spiritual foundation for Omani society. No matter how busy life becomes, the practice of fasting continues as a powerful expression of faith, self-control, and community spirit. With the exception of children, older adults, and pregnant women, most people make every effort to observe the holy month. As the sun sets, The cities come alive with the evening meal known as iftar, when families and friends gather to break their fast together. This is one of the best times for visitors to experience the warmth, generosity, and genuine hospitality that define Omani culture. Number 12. Never insult Islam. In Oman, religion forms the foundation of the country's culture and legal system. Islam, the official religion of the nation, holds a central place in society. As a result, any words or actions that are considered disrespectful toward the faith are treated as serious offenses. Under Omani criminal law, insulting Islam, the Prophet, or the Holy Quran may result in prison sentences of up to 5 years, along with substantial financial penalties. These laws apply equally to Omani citizens and foreign nationals, including tourists visiting the country. The people of Oman place great importance on protecting the sanctity of their faith. Actions such as mocking religious practices, wearing inappropriate clothing at religious sites, or making careless remarks about religious beliefs are widely considered unacceptable and are treated with great seriousness. Mosques are far more than places of worship. They are important spiritual and cultural landmarks that hold deep significance for the nation. Visitors are expected to behave with the highest level of respect while visiting these sacred places, and to follow local customs to avoid unintentional cultural misunderstandings. Learning about and respecting local religious traditions is one of the best ways to show appreciation for your host country. When visiting religious sites, dress modestly, keep your voice low, and avoid making comments about sensitive religious topics. These thoughtful gestures are always appreciated and are likely to be met with warm hospitality. Number 11. Modest swimwear is encouraged in Oman. In Oman, beaches are not only places for relaxation, but also important public spaces that reflect local cultural values. For this reason, very revealing swimwear, including many styles of bikinis, may be considered inappropriate in public beach areas. Visitors are encouraged to choose more modest swimwear as a sign of respect for local customs and traditions. Swimwear that provides greater coverage is recommended, allowing visitors to move comfortably between the beach and nearby public areas without attracting unnecessary attention. Local women often wear long-sleeved swimwear with full-length swim pants, while knee-length swim shorts are generally preferred for men over tighter or more revealing styles. These expectations are not limited to public beaches. Similar dress guidelines are common at many hotel swimming pools as well. Some luxury resorts even provide separate swimming areas for women, offering greater privacy while respecting traditional cultural values and ensuring a comfortable experience for all guests. These guidelines are not intended to make life difficult for visitors. Rather, they help preserve Oman's long-standing traditions. For many local people, modest clothing reflects respect for oneself and for those around them. According to a survey conducted in 2022, most residents agreed that maintaining these standards helps preserve the country's positive image. Oman remains a welcoming destination for international travelers. Many beaches display clear signs in English explaining local expectations, and shops near popular tourist areas often sell modest swimwear for visitors. These thoughtful accommodations make it easier for travelers to respect local customs while fully enjoying everything Oman has to offer. Number 10. Same-sex relationships are not legally recognized in Oman. Oman has a rich cultural heritage while maintaining conservative social values, particularly regarding LGBTQ+ issues. Under the country's current legal framework, same-sex relationships are not legally recognized, and certain same-sex sexual acts are prohibited by law. Visitors should be aware of these legal and cultural differences during their stay. Under the Omani Penal Code, certain same-sex sexual conduct may carry prison sentences of up to 3 years. These laws reflect the significant influence of Islamic traditions on the country's legal system and social values. For many people, this creates both legal challenges and social pressures. In everyday life, LGBTQ+ topics remain highly sensitive. Openly expressing one's sexual orientation may expose individuals to social stigma or discrimination. As a result, many people choose to keep their private lives discreet in order to avoid unwanted attention or difficulties. At the same time, there have been quiet efforts to encourage greater awareness of individual rights. Several international organizations have called on Oman to strengthen protections for fundamental human rights. Meanwhile, private online communities have gradually emerged, providing spaces where members can connect and support one another discreetly. In 2018, the Oman Medical Association stated that homosexuality is not a mental disorder, a development viewed by many observers as a positive step. Although change has been gradual, these developments suggest that discussions about human rights and social perspectives continue to evolve within Omani society. Number 9. Sea bathing as a traditional wellness practice. Along Oman's coastline, many local people believe that the sea has the power to restore both body and mind. This belief comes from the deep connection that coastal communities have shared with the ocean for generations. To them, the sea is not only a source of life and livelihood, but also a symbol of purity and renewal. According to traditional beliefs, spending time in seawater may help ease muscle aches, support healthy skin, and promote a sense of emotional well-being. At sunrise, many families head to the beach to swim, reflect, and enjoy a peaceful start to the day. In some regions, traditional prayers performed near the sea continue to be practiced as part of long-standing customs associated with health and well-being. For many Omanis, the ocean is a special place that strengthens their connection with nature. Modern research has also shown that seawater contains minerals such as magnesium and potassium, which may help soothe the skin and support healthy circulation. The combination of cultural tradition and these recognized natural properties has helped keep this custom alive across generations. The blend of tradition and modern understanding has also attracted visitors from around the world. Swimming in the clear waters of Dhofar or Salalah offers a relaxing and refreshing experience. It provides travelers with a unique opportunity to discover an important part of Omani culture while enjoying the calming beauty of the Arabian Sea. Number 8. A deep love for coffee. In Oman, coffee, known locally as kahwa, is far more than just a drink. It is an essential part of the country's cultural identity. Omani coffee is lightly roasted and delicately flavored with cardamom, nutmeg, cloves, and saffron, creating a smooth, aromatic taste rather than the strong bitterness found in many other styles of coffee. Its gentle flavor makes it the perfect companion for relaxed conversations, reflecting the graceful and welcoming spirit of Omani life. Coffee is traditionally served alongside fresh dates, a symbol of generosity, prosperity, and hospitality. The natural sweetness of the dates perfectly complements the delicate flavor of the coffee, expressing the host's appreciation for every guest. Sharing coffee is considered an important social tradition rather than simply a daily habit. When accepting a cup of coffee, it is considered polite to receive it with both hands as a gesture of appreciation and respect. Another unique tradition is that the cup is usually filled only halfway. A partially filled cup quietly suggests that the conversation is still continuing and that the host would be delighted if you stayed a little longer. For the people of Oman, coffee is a bridge that brings people together. A simple cup of kahwa has the power to turn strangers into friends through warmth, generosity, and sincere hospitality. When an Omani host offers you coffee, they are offering far more than a beverage. They are sharing a meaningful tradition of friendship that makes every visit to Oman even more memorable. Number 7. Flirting with women is prohibited in Oman. Visitors are welcome to admire the beauty of Omani women from a respectful distance, but any attempt to approach them romantically or make physical contact is considered unacceptable. Gestures that may seem perfectly ordinary in other countries can carry a completely different meaning within Omani culture. Public displays of flirtation are not only viewed as inappropriate, but they may also result in severe legal penalties. Oman's legal system is carefully designed to protect women's rights and preserve their dignity. Even seemingly harmless actions, such as lightly touching someone, making suggestive compliments, or displaying excessive physical affection, may be considered violations of personal boundaries. The penalties for this type of behavior can be severe, including fines, detention, or even criminal charges. According to data released by Oman's Ministry of Interior in 2021, reported cases of public harassment against women accounted for less than 1% of all recorded offenses. This reflects both the effectiveness of the country's laws and the strong commitment of its people to preserving traditional moral values. Visitors should pay close attention to local customs and follow social etiquette at all times. Rather than expressing admiration directly, it is best to remain polite, respectful, and reserved. Maintaining appropriate eye contact is equally important, as staring at someone for too long may be seen as disrespectful and make the other person uncomfortable. If you would like to take a photo with a local resident, whether a man or a woman, always ask for permission first. Taking someone's photograph without consent is considered disrespectful and may even be interpreted as harassment. Avoiding this mistake can help ensure your trip remains smooth and free from unnecessary legal complications. Omani society takes great pride in its tradition of respecting women. Women hold a central place within the family and are protected by both the law and long-standing social customs. Traditional clothing, such as the abaya and the headscarf, represents far more than religious identity. It also symbolizes dignity, honor, and the respected role of women in Omani society. In Oman, equality is not about removing personal boundaries, it is about respecting them. Once you understand this principle, you will recognize it as one of the finest expressions of courtesy and respect in the country's distinctive culture. Number 6. Dining customs in Oman. In Oman, dining is about much more than enjoying delicious food. Every meal is accompanied by traditions that reflect the country's rich cultural heritage. Rather than using forks and knives, many local people eat with their hands, and one important rule is always to use the right hand throughout the meal. Eating by hand is considered an art that allows people to fully appreciate the flavor, texture, and temperature of each dish in a way that utensils cannot easily match. During traditional feasts, the right hand is used to enjoy local specialties such as makbuz, a fragrant rice dish, or hariz, a hearty wheat porridge cooked with meat. This direct connection with the food creates a richer and more meaningful dining experience. Instead of using a spoon, people often use pieces of round flatbread to scoop up their food, creating a warm and communal atmosphere during family meals. The custom of avoiding the left hand extends beyond dining and influences many aspects of daily life. Following this tradition shows respect for local culture and demonstrates cultural awareness. The right hand is also expected when paying for purchases, presenting gifts, or shaking hands. Using the left hand in these situations may make local people uncomfortable. Even so, Omanis are well known for their hospitality and are generally understanding if visitors politely explain that they come from a different cultural background. Sharing a traditional meal is one of the best ways to experience everyday life in Oman. Families and friends often gather around a large shared platter, enjoying food while talking and spending time together. In Oman, a meal is not simply about nourishment. It is a symbol of unity, generosity, and hospitality, expressed through every thoughtful gesture of the host. Number 5. Offensive language is strictly prohibited in Oman. In Oman, using offensive, insulting, or disrespectful language is taken very seriously and may result in significant legal consequences. These rules are intended to promote courtesy and respectful communication throughout society, whether the behavior is intentional or accidental. Depending on the seriousness of the offense, violations involving abusive language may lead to fines, imprisonment, or even deportation. The Omani government places great importance on maintaining a respectful public environment that reflects the country's cultural, moral, and religious values. Courtesy and communication is expected from both local residents and international visitors. In Oman, language is seen as more than simply a way to exchange information. It is also considered a reflection of a person's character. Offensive remarks are viewed as violations of both community standards and religious values. For this reason, strict laws are in place to encourage respectful and civil communication. Under Omani law, language-related offenses can carry penalties ranging from several days to several years in prison, depending on the circumstances. These regulations apply not only in public places, but also to private conversations and online activity. Even a careless comment on social media could lead to serious legal difficulties. Visitors should be mindful of their words and remain calm and respectful in every situation. Speaking politely not only helps avoid legal problems, but also creates a positive impression with local people, making your visit to Oman more enjoyable and respectful. Number 4. Avoid speaking or laughing loudly in public. Oman is well known for its calm and peaceful atmosphere. In public places, loud laughter or noisy conversations are generally considered inconsistent with local social customs. People value quiet surroundings and mutual respect in shared spaces. Instead, conversations are often enjoyed in a majlis, a traditional gathering place where guests relax over tea in a peaceful setting. accompanied by gentle music and warm hospitality. These gatherings reflect the elegance, courtesy, and strong sense of community that are central to Omani culture. Number 3. Chewing gum is prohibited in certain public places. If you enjoy chewing gum to relax, it is best to avoid doing so while visiting Oman. In certain public places, chewing gum may be prohibited under local regulations. Visitors should pay attention to local rules to avoid violating standards related to public order and cleanliness. The main purpose of these restrictions is to help protect public spaces and maintain urban cleanliness. Discarded chewing gum is difficult to remove and can damage the appearance of streets, sidewalks, and popular tourist attractions. Oman places a strong emphasis on keeping its cities clean and welcoming for both residents and international visitors. These regulations reflect the country's strong commitment to environmental protection and public hygiene. The goal is to preserve clean, attractive, and sustainable living spaces for future generations. Thanks to strict cleanliness policies and widespread public cooperation, Oman is recognized as one of the cleanest countries in the Middle East. In the capital city of Muscat, streets are carefully maintained and exceptionally tidy. Even busy areas such as Mutra Souk are known for their impressive standards of cleanliness. According to a United Nations report published in 2021, Oman ranks among the regional leaders in environmental policy, supported by the strong commitment of its communities. Number 2. Home to some of the world's most luxurious perfumes. Oman is internationally renowned for its tradition of crafting luxurious perfumes, an art that has been passed down through generations for centuries. For the people of Oman, fragrance is much more than a pleasant scent. It represents elegance, cultural identity, and national pride. Prestigious perfume houses such as Amouage have helped establish Oman as one of the world's leading destinations for luxury fragrances. The exceptional quality of Omani perfumes comes from their rare and precious natural ingredients, especially frankincense, often referred to as the country's liquid gold. Harvested by hand in the Dhofar region, Omani frankincense is prized for its warm, rich, and distinctive aroma. It is often blended with rare flowers and aromatic plants from the surrounding highlands, giving each fragrance its own refined character. Other prized ingredients, including sandalwood and traditional Middle Eastern spices, are carefully combined to create sophisticated fragrances with remarkable depth and long-lasting performance. Amouage, founded in the early 1980s, has become the global symbol of Omani perfumery. Every creation is meticulously crafted, from its elegant packaging inspired by Islamic art to its beautifully layered fragrance compositions. Perfume plays an important role in religious ceremonies and major celebrations throughout Oman. Many families continue to create their own signature blends, using recipes that have been passed down through generations. This tradition is more than a daily custom. It is a meaningful way of preserving one of Oman's most treasured cultural legacies. Number 1. One of the lowest crime rates in the world. Oman is widely recognized as one of the safest countries in the world, thanks to its well-established legal system and effective law enforcement. The country's police force is known for its professionalism, friendliness, and willingness to assist both residents and visitors. Regular patrols and prompt responses help maintain a peaceful environment throughout the country. A strong sense of community and deeply rooted moral values also play an important role in maintaining public safety. Honesty, mutual respect, and hospitality are highly valued in Omani society, creating an atmosphere of trust and harmony. International rankings consistently place Oman among the countries with exceptionally low crime rates, particularly when it comes to serious violent crime. Visitors often experience this sense of security everywhere they go, from historic cities to remote desert camps. Solo travelers, including women, frequently describe Oman as a welcoming destination where local people are respectful and helpful. More than simply being a safe country, Oman leaves many visitors with lasting memories of genuine kindness and hospitality. If you enjoy learning about cultures and travel destinations from around the world, don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring journeys. Please remember that the information presented in this video is intended for general reference only. Before planning your trip, it is always a good idea to check the latest travel information and local regulations from reliable sources. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in our next video where even more fascinating discoveries are waiting for you. Number 1. a life of luxury beyond the imagination of the ultra-wealthy. If you were born in Qatar, there is a strong chance you would grow up barely needing to worry about electricity bills, water costs, or many basic living expenses. From childhood to adulthood, most essential needs are largely supported by the state. This small country on the Arabian Peninsula has a GDP per capita of around $125,000 per year, ranking among the highest in the world. Thanks to vast natural gas reserves and a relatively small population, Qatar has built a standard of living that continues to surprise many other nations. For local citizens, services such as healthcare and education are almost fully subsidized. Many families are also granted land to build homes, while personal income tax is not a concern at all. When the overall standard of living is already extremely high, luxury items such as supercars or high-end watches gradually become part of everyday life. Because of this, value is sometimes expressed through far rarer things. In the middle of a desert landscape, a lush green garden maintained with expensive desalinated water becomes a symbol of status and wealth. The cost of maintaining it can be surprisingly high. Luxury is also reflected in official transportation. High-performance SUVs and premium sedans are commonly seen on the streets, becoming part of the country's distinctive image. However, what surprises many people the most is the obsession with beautiful numbers. A special license plate or phone number can be traded for prices reaching millions and sometimes even tens of millions of US dollars. At the peak of luxury, there are supercars flown to Europe for summer holidays, and multi-day weddings filled with imported fresh flowers and world-class performances. But that is only part of the story. Would you like to discover how Qatar transforms deserts into modern wonders? Number 2. Billion-dollar projects that turn the impossible into reality. In Qatar, when natural land is not enough to support ambitious plans, the country is willing to expand its territory by creating new land from the sea. The most striking example is the approximately $200 billion invested in the FIFA World Cup 2022, making it the most expensive World Cup ever recorded. To put this into perspective, that amount exceeds the combined investment of many previous World Cups and is enough to build numerous large-scale modern projects. However, Qatar's impact is not defined by numbers alone. From the moment visitors arrive in Doha, this becomes immediately clear. The city's international airport alone cost around $16 billion to complete. This is not just an airport. Inside, it feels more like a luxury resort, featuring a tropical garden, water areas, high-end hotels, swimming pools, and valuable art installations. Even waiting for a flight becomes a memorable experience. Stepping outside, ambition continues to appear in the Pearl, a man-made island project worth around $15 billion, designed like a massive string of pearls. It brings together upscale residential areas, modern marinas, and world-famous fashion brands, blending the atmosphere of European coastal cities into the Gulf region. Beyond that, Qatar transforms natural inspiration into architectural art. The National Museum, designed to resemble the desert rose, is a clear example of the fusion between art and technology. At the peak of this ambition stands Lusail, a completely new city built from scratch on empty land. With modern infrastructure, artificial islands, and iconic stadiums, it demonstrates that in Qatar, the greatest limits often exist only in human imagination. Number 3. Noble sports and the special athletes of the desert. In Qatar, even traditional camel racing is combined with modern technology. In the past, this sport sparked debate due to concerns about young riders. As a result, since 2005, Qatar has switched to using remote-controlled robots mounted on the backs of camels. What is interesting is that these robots are not only used for control. They are also designed with helmets, sunglasses, and human-like features to help the camels feel more familiar. Some devices even include rider-like details to make the racing experience feel more natural. At the Al Shahania racetrack, the scene is truly unique. While the camels speed across the track, their owners sit in modern vehicles driving alongside, controlling them remotely. It is a rare blend of long-standing tradition and advanced technology. Not only camels, but racehorses in Qatar are also cared for under exceptional standards. High-value horses are trained in modern facilities, swim in private pools, take warm water baths, and receive daily care. They live in air-conditioned stables to adapt to the harsh desert climate. High-quality feed is imported from around the world, while any factors that could affect their health are carefully controlled. The same level of care is also applied to greenery. In the middle of the hot desert, every tree is meticulously maintained using expensive desalinated water. In Qatar, a line of green trees is not just landscaping, it represents prosperity and prestige. Number 4. Winged citizens with remarkable privileges. In Qatari traditional culture, falcons have long been seen as symbols of honor, pride, and social status. Centuries ago, desert communities trained these birds to assist in hunting in harsh environments, creating a deep bond that continues to this day. Over time, owning a falcon became more than a cultural tradition. It also became a sign of status. In famous markets in Doha, exceptional falcons can reach prices of hundreds of thousands of US dollars, comparable to high-end luxury assets. What surprises many people is that each falcon can even have its own passport. This is an official document issued by authorities, allowing the bird to travel internationally with its owner, complete with identification details. As a result, on some flights, falcons may appear inside the passenger cabin instead of being transported as cargo. Many people have witnessed birds traveling alongside passengers on commercial flights as special companions. The care for these birds extends to highly specialized healthcare systems. In Doha, veterinary centers dedicated to falcons are equipped with advanced technology, including imaging systems, treatment areas, and rehabilitation facilities. They undergo regular health checks, continuous monitoring, and careful feather maintenance to ensure peak flying performance. In Qatar, this level of care for falcons is not unusual. It is part of everyday culture. Number 5. Luxurious cuisine where gold appears directly on the table. In Qatar, gold is not only found in jewelry or valuable collections, but also becomes part of culinary art. Ultra-thin 24-karat gold leaves are placed on drinks, creating coffee that sparkles like a carefully crafted masterpiece. In high-end cafes in Doha, gold is often gently placed on top of milk foam, combined with carefully selected coffee beans. Even a small drink can reach surprising prices, turning coffee drinking into a symbolic experience. But that is only the beginning. The dessert world here features creations entirely covered in 24-karat gold. Cakes made from premium ingredients, such as high-grade vanilla and refined decoration techniques, can be priced extremely high and are usually reserved for special events or custom orders. Even traditional dishes are elevated to another level. Rice is prepared with some of the world's most expensive saffron, combined with carefully selected lamb. Everything is presented on luxurious trays, creating a feast that is both visually stunning and highly refined. To complete the experience, many banquets also serve premium caviar. This rare delicacy takes years of careful cultivation to produce, making it a symbol of sophistication and prestige. In Qatar, every dish is not only about flavor, but also reflects a lifestyle of elegance and refinement. Number 6. From a hot desert land to a global energy powerhouse. When people think of Qatar, they often immediately picture luxurious landmarks, expensive supercars, and world-class experiences. But behind this glamorous image lies a long journey of development shaped by a harsh natural environment. With an area of just over 11,500 square kilometers, Qatar is a relatively small country, and most of its territory is covered by desert. Natural water sources are extremely limited, there are no major rivers flowing year-round, and summer temperatures often reach very high levels. These conditions have made agriculture and farming development extremely difficult for a long time. Before becoming wealthy, the people of Qatar mainly relied on the sea. Pearl diving once played a crucial role in the local economy. Divers would descend into deep waters with very basic equipment to search for precious pearls, a job that demanded both endurance and courage. However, when cultured pearls entered the global market, this traditional industry quickly declined. Many families faced difficult living conditions for an extended period. Although oil was discovered in the 1930s, global fluctuations meant that extraction and development did not progress as expected for some time. The real turning point came when Qatar gained access to one of the world's largest natural gas reserves. Modern liquefied natural gas technology opened the door to transporting energy across the globe. From that moment, a land once facing countless challenges gradually transformed into a major energy hub, laying the foundation for the country's strong development today. Number 7. The contrast behind Qatar's image of prosperity. From the outside, Qatar is often seen as a wealthy nation with an exceptionally high standard of living. However, behind this development lies a rather unique social structure. Qatari citizenship is considered extremely difficult to obtain, even for long-term residents. Although they make up only a small portion of the total population, native citizens benefit from a wide range of strong state support. They do not pay personal income tax and have access to education, healthcare, electricity, and water services that are heavily subsidized by the government. In a desert climate, these benefits carry significant value. In addition, many citizens receive housing land grants or financial support programs when starting a family, helping them build stable lives. These policies create a high standard of living and long-term security across generations. However, most of Qatar's workforce comes from abroad. They work across various sectors, from construction to services, playing a vital role in the country's rapid development. The large proportion of migrant workers has created a demographic structure very different from many other countries. During the development of large-scale projects, issues related to working conditions, labor environments, and migrant workers' rights have attracted significant international attention. This shows that behind modern infrastructure and a luxurious lifestyle, there are still complex realities that form a more complete picture of Qatar today. Number 8. Life between luxury and traditional boundaries. In modern shopping malls in Doha, the presence of local women draws attention in a very distinct way. They appear in traditional modest clothing, yet behind that appearance lies a world of high fashion, with accessories, jewelry, and outfits from globally recognized luxury brands. With most of the face covered, the eyes, makeup, and attention to small details become key ways of expressing personality. This creates a unique charm that feels both elegant and mysterious within Qatar's modern urban setting. However, life here is not shaped by wealth alone. Cultural values and traditions still play an important role in everyday life. In public spaces, many social norms are observed and respected as part of community identity. In some more traditional families, the opinions of male members still carry significant influence over decisions related to education, work, or personal plans. This creates a family-oriented environment with a clear sense of direction. Although women have high access to education, their career paths can still be influenced by long-standing social views. At the same time, various cultural rules and expectations continue to shape lifestyles and behavior within the community. All of this forms a unique picture where modern life and tradition coexist side by side in the daily lives of women in Qatar today. Number 9. Mysterious stories still echoing across the sea of sand. For many people in Qatar, the desert is not just part of nature, but also a space deeply connected to legends passed down through generations. Among the endless sand dunes, there are many folk stories about invisible beings and unexplained phenomena. Because of this, many people have long developed the habit of avoiding going deep into the desert alone at night or during sunset. According to oral traditions, travelers can easily lose their way in the vast and uniform landscape of this land. These beliefs are not limited to legends. They also influence everyday habits. Some simple actions are often accompanied by prayers or good wishes for protection and safety. In addition, the concept of the evil eye remains quite common in local culture. Many families believe that excessive admiration or attention can bring misfortune, so they often use protective symbols as part of traditional practices. Even compliments are sometimes expressed carefully, as a way of showing respect for long-standing cultural beliefs. In some coastal areas, abandoned old villages have also contributed to a mysterious atmosphere. Although the main reasons are economic changes and urban development, many folk stories continue to be told. Today, Qatari society is becoming increasingly modern, but these cultural traces and traditional beliefs still quietly exist in the daily lives of many people. Number 10. One of the safest countries and rules that cannot be taken lightly. What surprises many visitors to Qatar is the almost constant feeling of safety everywhere. The country is widely regarded for its high level of security, with very low crime rates and an orderly living environment, allowing people to move freely at any time of the day. This stability comes from a strict management system, modern surveillance networks, and firmly enforced regulations. As a result, many violations are prevented at an early stage. However, alongside this safety are cultural norms that visitors are expected to respect. In daily life, even small details in communication can carry important meaning. For example, the way objects are handed over or sitting postures in certain situations may be seen as a sign of respect toward others. Public spaces are also regulated by clear guidelines. Some activities are only allowed in designated areas, while behaviors that may disturb public order are generally discouraged. In addition, taking photos of residents, religious sites, or sensitive locations should be done with careful consideration to respect privacy and local cultural values. In particular, topics related to politics and religion are approached with great caution. These are sensitive areas that require respect for both the laws and traditions of the country. Number 11. Things that seem contradictory but coexist in Qatar. When people think of Qatar, they often imagine endless sand dunes. However, there is a surprising fact. The country actually imports sand from abroad for large-scale construction projects. Despite being a desert nation, the natural sand there is not suitable for producing high-quality concrete. The reason lies in the nature of desert sand. Over millions of years of wind erosion, the grains become too fine and too smooth, which reduces their ability to bind in construction materials. Meanwhile, sea sand contains a high level of salt, which is also unsuitable for many modern structures. Therefore, major projects often rely on specially sourced sand imported from outside the country. While humans bring materials into the desert, nature itself creates unique landscapes. In some coastal areas, seawater extends deep into the sandy land, forming rare scenery where sea and desert almost blend together. Golden dunes beside blue waters create a striking visual contrast. Beyond their beauty, these areas are also habitats for various bird species and distinctive wildlife. Another paradox lies in energy. Thanks to abundant oil and gas resources, fuel prices in Qatar are often very competitive. This makes the use of large engine vehicles common and convenient in everyday life. Number 12. One-of-a-kind festivals in the desert land. In Qatar, one of the most remarkable events is the Andafra Festival, where camels become the center of beauty competitions with total prize values reaching tens of millions of US dollars. In this highly competitive event, camels are carefully judged based on appearance, from body structure to their most distinctive features. Because the prize values are so large, some owners in the past attempted to enhance the appearance of their animals using prohibited methods. As a result, organizers now apply strict inspection rules, and many cases have led to disqualification for violating the established standards. In contrast to this lively atmosphere, coastal festivals take visitors back to Qatar as it was decades ago. These events recreate the era when people depended on the sea and pearl diving before the rise of the energy industry. During these occasions, hundreds of traditional wooden boats appear on the water. Craftsmen demonstrate navigation skills using wind, currents, and the sky, recreating maritime techniques passed down through generations. Amid modern life, these activities help preserve historical memory and connect younger generations with their cultural roots. In addition, Qatar also offers unique dining experiences where guests enjoy meals at impressive heights with panoramic city views. These events are not only entertainment, but also a reflection of the country's creativity and distinctive style. Number 13. Must-visit destinations when exploring Qatar. To experience Doha in the most authentic way, it is worth stepping away from modern skyscrapers and entering the old traditional markets. Here, narrow streets filled with the scents of spices, incense, and handmade goods create a deeply Middle Eastern atmosphere, as if transporting visitors back in time. The historic stalls have preserved their character across generations. Alongside traditional products, visitors may also encounter valuable falcons, birds that carry deep cultural meaning and hold a special place in Qatari life. Just a short distance away lies a completely different scene. The Pearl appears as a symbol of modern development, built on reclaimed land with luxury marinas, high-end residential areas, and spaces inspired by European coastal cities. Water canals, illuminated bridges, and elegant architecture have made it one of the most iconic districts in Qatar. For those interested in cultural depth, the Museum of Islamic Art is a highly recommended stop. It houses a rich collection of handmade carpets, jewelry, ceramics, and ancient manuscripts of great historical value. Leaving the busy city behind, Qatar's natural landscapes offer a completely different experience. Where the sea meets the desert, visitors can ride across vast dunes or watch the sunset on camelback in an endless open space. The journey ends in Lusail, a modern city filled with iconic structures that represent Qatar's ambition for development and its vision of the future. Number 14. Things travelers should know before visiting Qatar. Qatar is a country with a strong Islamic cultural identity, so respecting local customs is always very important. Among these, clothing is one of the most commonly discussed aspects. Visitors do not need to wear traditional attire, but they are encouraged to dress modestly and avoid clothing that is too short or revealing when visiting shopping malls, markets, or public institutions. Appropriate clothing not only helps visitors blend into the environment, but also shows respect for local culture. In addition, public behavior guidelines are also emphasized and should be observed throughout the trip. Excessive displays of affection in public places are generally discouraged. Furthermore, if visitors wish to take photos of local people, especially women, they should ask for permission first as a sign of politeness and respect for privacy. In daily communication, the right hand is commonly used for greeting or exchanging items. This is a cultural norm that travelers should keep in mind when interacting with locals. Regarding food and drinks, regulations related to alcoholic beverages are quite strict. Alcohol consumption is only permitted in licensed venues that comply with local laws. In addition, the modern metro system makes transportation very convenient, but passengers are still expected to follow station rules and instructions. Especially during summer, temperatures can become extremely high, so staying hydrated and avoiding outdoor activities during peak heat hours is essential for health and safety. Number 15. How much budget do you need for a trip to Qatar? Let's start with accommodation, one of the most important parts of any trip. In Doha, travelers can easily find modern hostels located near the city center, with prices ranging from about $30 to $45 per night. These places usually offer clean spaces, basic amenities, and comfortable common areas. For those seeking more privacy, a budget of $80 to $120 is enough to book a 4-star hotel in central areas or near famous traditional markets. These hotels often feature distinctive Arabian-inspired architecture, combining comfort with local cultural elements. With a budget of $300 to $500, travelers can enjoy luxury resorts along the coastline or on well-known artificial islands. When it comes to food, Qatar offers a wide range of options for different budgets. Popular local meals such as chicken rice, sandwiches, or fast food usually cost between $4 and $7, making them very affordable for travelers. For a fine dining experience with seafood or high-quality grilled dishes, the average cost ranges from $25 to $40 per person. Meanwhile, traditional tea is quite inexpensive, usually around $1 per cup. Transportation is also convenient thanks to the modern metro system with fares of about $1 per ride. Taxis and ride-hailing services are reasonably priced, while premium options offer a more comfortable experience. Overall, a budget trip can range from $70 to $90 per day, a mid-range experience around $150 to $200, and a luxury experience starting from $400 or more. Hopefully, this journey through Qatar has given you many interesting insights. If you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to follow more upcoming travel explorations. Please note that all information in this video is for reference only and may change over time.